But there's a chance state lawmakers will be back at the Capitol next month. It would be for another special session, but this one would focus on changing Louisiana's tax structure. Capitol correspondent Chris Rosado gives us a closer look. Chris.
Well, State Revenue Secretary Richard Nelson is suggesting in order for the state to get a ballot initiative onto the November ballot for you to vote on, a special session in August could be the answer. In a joint meeting this week with lawmakers, Revenue Secretary Richard Nelson proposed a special session in August to make structure changes he says will be a once-in-a-century opportunity to transform Louisiana's tax code, and he wants to put those proposed changes before voters in November. Come mid-2025, a temporary state sales tax will expire and temporary suspended tax breaks will resume, and experts predict that will cause a significant gap of nearly $500 million in the state's general fund.
I think all of the changes would have to be to the Secretary of State by August 23rd. I think that's a federal deadline because it's a federal election in November, so she has to have everything to send the ballots out by then.
Secretary Nelson says his plan aims to be revenue neutral, so the state collects the same amount for its general fund as it does currently, while changing tax policy to be more competitive with other neighboring states. Modifying the state's tax code and constitution have both been things Governor Jeff Landry has openly supported, and Nelson suggests both could be done during a special session in August, just 2 months before the November election. The governor's press secretary said today Louisiana needs budget and tax reform. Refreshing our constitution in whatever way the legislature deems appropriate is the only way to get this done on behalf of all Louisianians. Reports began to circulate on social media that House Speaker Philip de Villiers viewed an August special session as unlikely. However, since then, de Villiers took to X to set the record straight in a post saying, to be clear, if legislators choose to have a special session in August, he'd be supportive. Now, I did reach out to Senate President Cameron Henry for clarification on his part, but did not hear back. At the Capitol, I'm Chris Rosado. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Chris, thanks.